Hello everyone, this is Adam and welcome to the fourth episode of 3-Minute Theology, where we will be answering the question, does God exist? We hear it a lot from our sisters and brothers who are skeptical about God, or from those who do not believe entirely. Prove to me that God exists! Prove it! Prove it! Now, I am a scientist and I can tell you that when people ask about proof about God, they almost always mean a scientific or a mathematical proof. Prove His existence by bringing it to the laboratory. What methods can be used to prove God's existence? Tell me. Put this God in a test tube! Well, if that's what you mean by existence, prove God's existence by bringing Him to the lab in a test tube, or use any scientific or mathematical discourse, then I would be glad to say that He doesn't exist based on that idea of existence, which is kind of lame to be honest. Even the question, does God exist, sounds funny. The problem with that view of existence is that it is too limited. Let me tell you what I mean. When we think of existence, we think of how us as humans exist. And how do we exist? Well, for humans, there is a distinction between what we are and whether we are. What we are speaks of our essence, and whether we are speaks of our existence. What we are, humans, and whether we are, do we exist or are we alive? For humans, these two are separate. Say for example, Elvis Presley. What he is? Human. Whether he is? No, he's dead. Well, technically he's in the afterlife, but scientists won't accept that when they talk about existence. Now, take Adele for example. What she is? Human. Whether she is? Yes, she's alive. For humans, essence and existence are two separate things. And for every being in the world, the separation between essence and existence applies. For God, however, such separation between essence and existence does not apply. God's essence and existence collapse into one. What God is whether God is. God's essence is existence. That's why we can call Him the Creator, the source of all existence, because He is existence itself. So you see how funny it sounds when people ask, does God exist? Because they are separating what God is from whether God is. When you say God, you are referring to existence Himself. So when you ask, does God exist? You're sort of asking, does existence exist? Funny question, eh? And you can also see why I said we cannot put God into a test tube. Because if we try to do that, we are trying to get just the what portion of God, which is impossible. God's what is whether He is. God's essence is existence. God is existence. On our next episode, we will be discussing a related topic, one which I have already mentioned a bit in this episode. God as Creator, the source of all existence. Subscribe for latest updates and see you next.